I call this regular meeting of the Mexico City Council to order.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
First item on the agenda is approval of minutes. The first minutes will be June 27th, 2016, regular session.
I move for approval.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Abstain.
Councilman West,
Abstain, I was out of town.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
The next item would be the July 25th, 2016 work session.
Move approval of those minutes.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Abstain.
Next item would be the July 25th, 2016 regular session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Abstain.
And the August 3rd, 2016 budget session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Abstain.
The next item under new business resolution, bill number 2016-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a special warranty deed to Robert E. and Marjorie A. Graff, trustees of the Robert and Marjorie Graff Trust. Reading and passage. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, Your Honor, this project was a Chapter 100 financing project. The bonds have been paid, and we are ready to transfer the property back. To cover the details of the resolution, we'll turn to Russell Runch.
Yes, Council, we've done several different Chapter 100 financing deals. This was done in 2006, of October 2006, for $900,000. The issuance of the bonds is based on the strength of the company. They pay back the principal and interest. There's no responsibility to us. Those have been paid off, as Bruce mentioned, and the property's being transferred back to Graff & Sons, Robert and Marjorie Graff trustees. This formality will put it back on the 2016 tax rolls, and that's the benefit of using this type of financing. Any questions?
And there was not at any time any indebtedness occurred to the city of Mexico?
That's correct. We are just a funding mechanism.
Yeah,
Pass-through.
Pass-through.
I would like to say that, one of the things I hear most people complain about, you give these tax deals to companies and then they move away. Graff & Sons is really for this community and part of this community, and I'm glad that we could help them and they could do business here, and continue to do business here.
And in the near future, we'll also be having the 600,000 square foot building that is currently occupied by Home Depot, Home Decorators Collection, coming on the tax rolls soon as well. So that's another one benefit.
Excellent. Thank you. Move for reading of bill number 2016-50.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Bill number 2016-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a special warranty deed to Robert E. and Marjorie A. Graff, trustees of the Robert and Marjorie Graff Trust. Whereas Graff & Sons, Robert and Marjorie Graff, convey real estate to the City of Mexico in October 2006 to obtain Chapter 100 bonds. Whereas the Chapter 100 bonds have now been paid in full, and it is necessary for the City of Mexico to transfer the real estate back to Graff & Sons, Robert and Marjorie Graff Trust to be placed back on the tax rolls for 2016. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, City Manager hereby authorized to sign a special warranty deed conveying real estate to Robert E. and Marjorie A. Graff trustees of the Robert and Marjorie Graff Trust. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage. Bill number 2016-50.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, a resolution, Bill number 2016-51, a resolution of the City of Mexico in support of the Teal Lake Apartments, reading and passage. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor. This resolution is being presented for council consideration concerning the development of family workforce housing. Pete Ramsell, consultant for the developer for the Teal Lake Village Housing Development, presented to council on July 25th, 2016 work session the development plan for a family workforce housing. Mr. Ramsell asked the council to support the development of 10 two-bedroom and 10 three-bedroom duplex buildings. The development would be located off of Teal Lake, east of Fairgrounds Road. Mr. Ramsell stated that he had an option on the property, and pending council support of the resolution would be applying for tax credits, and if those tax credits are received, this would be a Section 42 tax credit, which would help finance the building of this project. There is no rental assistance connected with this development. The tax credits are sold to banks, insurance companies, large corporations. Then these private investors use those tax credits to offset their income taxes, and then the equity that's generated from the sale of those tax credits is what the developer uses to build the project. Council indicated that they would support the family workforce housing development, and the resolution of support is therefore presented for approval. We recommend that you proceed with the reading and passage of the attached resolution in support of the Teal Lake apartment development.
Question?
Has there been any objections at all from anyone in the community toward this development?
I have not received any.
Is there anyone here tonight that is objecting to it? I know the mayor, I hope you don't mind me asking that question.
No, no.
Okay, because I just wanted to know and make sure that the community was behind this project.
Have you received any, Rita? No. Okay. The community development has not received any as well.
Okay, thank you.
I move for reading of bill number 2016-51.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Bill number 2016-51, a resolution of the City of Mexico, Audrain County, Missouri, in support of Teal Lake Apartments. Whereas the City Council of Mexico, Missouri has considered a proposed plan for a family workforce housing development within the City of Mexico, and whereas the development will provide needed housing for families in Mexico, Missouri, at the northeast corner of Teal Lake Road and Fairground Road, and whereas the developer is applying for approval and tax credit funding from the Missouri Housing Development Commission and has requested the city's support for their application. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, there is a need for affordable housing in the City of Mexico, Missouri, and the Council of the City of Mexico gives full support to the Teal Lake Apartments development application. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2016-51.
Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, new business ordinance. Excuse me. Bill number 2016-52, an ordinance approving the final plat of the Larry Welch subdivision in the City of Mexico, Missouri. Two readings by title only and passage. Mr. Slagle?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a two-lot subdivision, and to cover the details and location, we will turn to Rita Jackson.
This agenda item concerns a request for final approval of Larry Welch subdivision submitted by Larry and Barbara Welch Larry Welch subdivision divides one existing lot on Franklin Drive into 2 lots. This tract of land is located in Rivers Addition, which is bounded by Highway 54 to the north, Rivers Drive to the south, Oney Street to the west, and Christopher Road to the east. Per the Mexico City Code, Section 11-50B, tracts of less than 1 acre states, if the owner of a parcel of land containing less than 1 acre desires to subdivide it, and if all lots of such parcel within, abut, and face on an established and approved street or streets for which no dedication of right-of-way is necessary to make such street conform to the major street plan of the city, the owner may subdivide such parcel. This plat qualifies under the provision cited as an administrative plat that goes directly to the City Council. Staff has reviewed the proposed plat for city compliance, and it meets all requirements as to the size and arrangements of lots. Mr. Welch plans to construct 2 single-family dwellings on the lot. Staff recommends the council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance. This ordinance has been posted the required time.
You want to point out anything on the map at all?
The actual subdivision plat is there on the smart board. And we are subdividing 1 lot into 2. Mr. Welch has currently already received 1 building permit to start construction of one of the houses because the way the arrangement sets up, it meets all of the requirements of the subdivision plat.
Have you received any objections from anybody in that community?
No, actually, it's, the residents of that community are really happy to see new development in those areas.
We're happy to.
Is this another water company issue? This is public water supply?
It's already, the water supply's been established for this lot.
For this lot, okay.
Because it is an existing lot that's just been subdivided into 2.
What's your pleasure, John?
I move for reading of bill number 2016-52 by title only. Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Welch,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes. Bill number 2016-52, an ordinance approving the final plat of Larry Welch subdivision to the city of Mexico, Missouri. I move for second reading, bill number 2016-52. Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Welch,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes. Bill number 2016-52, an ordinance approving the final plat of Larry Welch subdivision to the city of Mexico, Missouri. I move for passage of bill number 2015-62. Second. 52. Thank you. Got it.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Welch,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
Okay, another business claims.
Move for approval. Second.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Welch,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols,
Yes.
The next item is comments, first with the council. Councilman Leish.
It's just good to see development in the city. The apartments we approved this evening, the plat out there on Teal Lake, and or at least starting that process, necessarily approve it, and this subdivision here. So I think it's good to see development in the community.
I'd second. it's good to see development in the community, and I'd also like to take a second and if you didn't get to see the performance of Presser Hall last weekend, those kids are great, and I wish them well and safe journeys because they are going across the ocean to Europe. So that's kind of exciting. A little Mexico, Missouri group got invited to attend
Scotland, wasn't it?
Scotland, yeah. Yeah, Scotland. That's all I got.
Also like to see the housing starts in Mexico. Like to see the dirt moving, going to town out there on 54 East. Soft surroundings. Like seeing new restaurants coming to town. Hope everybody patronizes these restaurants because that's what we always wanted. And I want to apologize for missing 3 meetings. I feel bad about that. All yours.
Well, speaking of construction, I'd just like to say how exciting it is to see the dirt beginning to work on Presser Hall. If you haven't been by, there's a dozer, a track hoe. We've got it fenced off, but the machinery's there and they're starting digging. So that's going to be a big deal for Mexico to expand that performance center we have.
And this time, Your Honor.
I don't believe I have any comments to make. I know it's going to break Kenzie's heart that I don't ask about Moore Street. But I'm sure he'll get over it. Now, we open up time for the public to make any comments. If you have any comments or questions you'd like to ask, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and if you can, try to limit your comments to about 3 minutes.
Thomas Feeler, 1617 Meadow Lane. So I have 2 things here. The first one is outside the courthouse now, there is now a sign that says no loitering after 9 p.m. There's no ordinance number attached to it, and whenever I searched the city codes to find an ordinance that would back that up, I couldn't find one, nor could the paralegal, nor could the lawyer that I contacted. So I'm wondering if that is an enforcement, and if it isn't an enforcement, why the sign is there. If it is an enforcement, is it something that Mexico Public Safety is responsible for? And if so, what are they going to be able to prosecute that under?
It's not a city ordinance, it's not a city property, and we did not post it. That would be something you need to check with the county commissioners on.
And all that would have to be, they can only do the yard, right? That sidewalk is free for anybody to roam as necessary, right?
They would be responsible for their property. The public water right-of-ways would still be the same as any other thing.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that. This other one, and this is going to be totally trying to get some information because somebody asked me about it and I know nothing about pets. I have no pets, but the way it was phrased to me is apparently if your dog gets free or gets lost or whatever and it gets picked up, when it gets picked up you have to pay the fee for the dog at large fee, but then you also have to pay twice for it. And the way it was explained to me was basically you had to pay for the catching of it and the housing of it until you were able to come and pick it up, and then you had to pay the fee to retrieve it. And you had to do all of that before you could get your animal back as well. So part of my concern with that is if we're licensing pets, then don't we know who should be owning the pet? Shouldn't we be able to just drop the pet off with them instead of incurring an extra charge for the citizens? We could just make the charge of whatever the fine is, which should encompass the catching of the animal. If not, is there a way to make sure we can get people their pets back, especially people that, some people have kids and stuff and they get very attached to their pets, and we're holding them from them and forcing them to pay an exuberant amount. I don't think anybody who views pets as a member of their family would appreciate that if any other member of their family had that same ordeal. So I'm just trying to find out exactly what goes on with that and how we can best work to resolve that, and maybe even educate the public if that's not accurate as to how it's explained to me. So.
Mr. Slagle, would you like to answer that? I know there's an impoundment fee if we pick up a dog.
If your pet is running at large and it is picked up, you are right, there is a fee or there's a fine for running at large. In addition to that, that animal then is taken to the animal shelter. Depending on how long it is there is a daily fee that it's there for. In addition to that, if it is not licensed, you'd be required to license it first. And if it does not have its shots up to date. You'd be required to bring the shots up to date first as well. So there's a number of things that go with that. So, and usually, no, I'll save the editorial comment. That's the law.
And why is a licensed pet not just returned to the property owner as opposed to impounded?
Well, there's always the possibility that if the pet was off the property, there's no license, the pet owner's not there.
Yeah,
You're gonna return
yeah,
it to-
yeah, that's why I'm just trying to get all
I
the
don't wanna get
details
into
worked
it. I
out.
don't want to get into just back and forth with you, but
Right.
that's not the way the law works. The law says if we find the animal running at large, we pick it up and impound it in the animal shelter. That's what the law says to do, not drive around with it in the truck for 2 or 3 days while we look for Sam Jones to give him his dog back.
Right. And
If it has a license, we will try and contact him and tell him that their dog is there.
okay, so there is a contact mechanism.
Well,
so,
sure.
So people know. Okay.
Sure. Am I wrong?
May I add to that, an animal that's running at large, sometimes, on the first times, the animal is actually not impounded. They will actually try to find the owner or pay it back. Anytime you get a fee or something like that, that animal has been running at large more than once.
Yeah.
There is an initial fee for the impoundment, which, and basically each day that it's impounded, that's a fee. But the staff does try to find, locate those owners. But if it's numerous times, probably on that second or third time, it is impounded and then those fines are put in place.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Is that cleared up for you, Thomas?
I understand it. The person who was asking me about it, depending on how well I'm able to relate it to them, hopefully, I got the video up and maybe they are watching it and it's cleared up for them.
I hope so. You might ask him if that was the first time the dog ever got loose.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. Anyone else who'd like to address the council?
My name's Don Kofer. I live at 600 North Washington, and actually today there's no complaints. It's all about good job on the soft surroundings, good job on cleaning up all the brush after the storm. Just, y'all are doing a good job. Thank you. You don't hear that very often.
Thank you.
Who was that again?
Would you repeat that? Come back.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate the comments.
In a different vein, my name is Randy Owings, and I live at 1918 Providence Road. I first appeared here on the issue I'm addressing on May 28, 2013. In June of 2011, at our residence, we experienced our first sewage backup that we had since we moved into our residence in 2003. The sewage backup inundated our basement, and on that night of June 10th, 2011, I worked with my neighbor Ron Ray to tear out sewage-soaked carpet, carry it out of the house, and I subsequently had to remodel my basement at my own expense. And in September of 2011, at the suggestion of the plumber I had looking at this situation, with financial assistance from the city, I installed a backflow preventer. I thought my problems might have been solved, but in the spring of 2013, I called Public Works at least 3 times with sewage backups, and numerous other times my backflow preventer had been engaged because sewage water was being forced along my private line from the main, causing my backflow preventer to shut off. When a backflow preventer shut off, nothing can leave your house. There were numerous times that spring that my sewage system in my house was useless. And so I appeared here in May of 2013, and I discussed this matter with you. And after I appeared, the city canvassed the neighborhood and discovered a big hole on a private owner's property where a sinkhole had developed and a hole in the sewage line had developed, and thousands of gallons of water were gushing into this hole. overloading this sewage line that runs behind my house. The problem didn't reappear until April of 2014, or the spring of 2014, when I appeared here again, and I had sewage water in my basement. And I appeared, and the city ran a camera down the line behind my house and found some other breaks in the line, so they slip lined the line behind my house. Then, in July of 2015, I had sewage water in my basement again. And I appeared here July 13, 2015, and if you recall the discussion, which you may or may not, the discussion that ensued was how the problem had been rectified on the public side, that the problem had to be on the private side. That there were gutters hooked into the sanitary sewer system, and the city was looking into that, and it was going to be a lengthy process to figure out where the problem was. Within a week after my meeting, and I never received official confirmation of this fact from the city, so if I misspeak, Bruce or Kinsey can weigh in, there were multiple tons of gravel sucked out of the sewer line that serviced my area of my subdivision. As I understand it, that gravel had washed in through a hole somewhere and had clogged up the sewer line along my part of the subdivision. So that was done. And this past week, I woke up on Tuesday morning, and I think it was Tuesday morning, and I had sewage water that had appeared in my basement. Again, my daughter went down to her bathroom in the basement of our house, and her clothes were soaked. They had been in the floor. She was on her way to get her wisdom teeth cut out. She was supposed to be in Columbia at 7:45, I think, and that was the way her morning began. I don't know what else to do. I've provided notice to the city of this problem. There have been discussions about rectifying the private problem of people hooking downspouts into gutters. I'm here tonight to request the city provide me within 30 days a remedial plan for my house. Tell me what is going to be done by the city, and I want the problem fixed within 6 months. Those solutions, which would be acceptable to me, include, but are not necessarily limited to, some sort of engineering that would keep the water that's flowing back from the main right behind my house into my basement. There's got to be an engineering solution, you would think. Or purchase my house my house and the adjoining lot for what its fair market value would be without this problem, and pay my moving expenses. I want to move somewhere where this isn't going to be a problem. And that's my request. Thank you.
Can't say anything.
Any other comments or questions? Mr. Slagle, have you anything further?
I do not.
Member of the council have anything further?
I do have one thing. Can I talk?
If you approach the
Okay.
podium, give your name, address.
All right. My name is Lisa Beth Davis Oviatt, O-V-A-I-T-T, and I live at 101 South Street. And I know you all are familiar with my sewage problem as well. One thing that comes to mind is, in the year 2016, basic human needs are a reasonable thing to believe that will be taken care of in the city. And for the sewage to have backed up twice since I've lived, actually 4 times since I've lived there. And one time I understand was paid by the water company's insurance company to fix things. But this time I lost every photo album of my folks. I had everything in totes or on totes, and there was so much water that the totes floated and dumped over.
I hope you can see my frustration and that you all will deal with this somehow. This is, like I said, it's 2016. The sewers have got to be working. And that's all I have. Thank you.
The only comment I give to Mr. Owings and to you, ma'am, is there have been a number of things done. Obviously, it hasn't cured the problem. You've made your demand, so we can't comment any further on it at this time. I'm sure you understand that. The matter will be referred to our sewer. You've called in, I'm sure, before, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Again, we'll look and see what we can do about it. And someone from our staff will get back with you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Attaboys? Anything? Take what I can get. If not, I move to adjourn.
Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Councilman West,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Williams,
Yes.
Councilman Miller,
Yes.
Councilman Nichols.
Yes.